Check, check.
I was trying to see, because it keeps going down on the township, so I was trying to see if maybe I can get it connected to my Wi-Fi. That would stay.
Which one?
Supervisor at 702.
The internet is completely down, so I'm using my hotspot on my phone, but I can only connect it here, so I'm going to, because it's going to keep going out, so I do have a plan B. One second. Brenda, I am sending you a link to a different Zoom. If you can put it in the, well, I might think we can. If you're able to, are you able to get maybe on your phone, like use your Wi-Fi on your phone to get into the other one to see if maybe they can get on and send them to this link that I'm giving you, that I just text you? And have them log into that one. Because I can't get the sound, I won't be able to get the sound out of that. So I want you to log into your phone, into the old one, because they won't be able to hear it. I didn't plan for the internet to go down.
This is, they're still using the one that's on the agenda. Right now, before she had internet problems, then we go to the one on the link that's on the agenda, and we have directed it to another one.
Because we have to direct them to that one.
That's no different than showing up.
They're
chairs back there?
Just keep an eye on this chat. Right. And you can send people this webinar address, because that's what I just texted you. So I'm about to put it up there right now, that way we can get started. trustee Oliver on the chair, but everybody else is supervisor.
All.
Okay. She said she's out or something. She didn't. Yeah. She's logged, yeah, I see names, so if she's logged in, I know she's logged in, so that's how I see her. Yeah, you talk. Supervisor George, I just asked one of my office staff to keep, since they're at home, to look at the old information, and if anybody logs in, to have them call the new number.
Okay.
So, since it's working, so. This might be Mary Pat, is her number end in 3770? That might be her. She's on. All right. I have her on as talking permitted. She must have selected something on her phone that is not letting me move her over.
Mary Pat Oliver is present.
Okay, we have her here. So tell her she will have to mute her phone because it's not allowing me to move her over to the panelist side. But everybody else I have on. So we're ready, Supervisor.
Okay. I'd like to call this regular meeting of the DuPage Township Supervisor and the Board of Trustees meeting, October 17, 2020. And I apologize for the delay. We lost the internet connection in DuPage Township. Can I have a pledge of allegiance, please?
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, to the republic which stands one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, I'd like to read the supervisor's statement and findings. It has to do with the governor's recent meeting. Attention, fellow members of the DuPage Township Board of Trustees, Clerk Cully, Assessor Kelly, Township Department heads, and all members of the public. On November 13,
I can't hear a thing.
Should we move that mic over? You can speak louder, Supervisor. Give him the mic. Speak louder.
On November 13, 2020, the governor of the state of Illinois issued his latest statewide disaster proclamation related to the continuing public health emergency posed by COVID-19 pandemic. Furthermore, on November 13, 2020, the governor of the state of Illinois issued Executive Order 2020-71, which among other things reissued Executive Order 2020-7, implementing additional public health restrictions and enhanced mitigation measures for Illinois Region 7, which includes all of Will County due to the sustained increase in COVID case positivity rates. As such, pursuant to Section 7E of the Illinois Open Meeting Act, DuPage Township Ordinance Number 20-11, as head of the public body, I have determined that holding a meeting entirely in person and that is otherwise conducted in full compliance with the Illinois Open Meeting Act is neither practical nor prudent because of the ongoing disaster. To the extent necessary, this meeting will be conducted with the option to participate via internet teleconference and without requiring the physical presence of quorum. Prior to the commencement of this meeting, all members of this body were verified and can hear one another. For the record, I, Felix George, Township Supervisor and head of this public body, and include all officers attending, Trustee Raga, Trustee Benford, Clerk Ali, and Trustee Burgess and Trustee Oliver via Zoom. Our physical presence and modified meeting room location at Levy Center, 261 Canterbury Lane, Bolingbrook, Illinois. In order to accommodate as many in-person attendees as safely as possible, the meeting room has been changed to the Levy Center, 251 Canterbury Lane, Bolingbrook, Illinois, which was duly noted on the meeting agenda and further noted on the regular meeting room location. However, due to the disaster and the governor's current executive orders, the physical presence of more than 10 people at the modified meeting location is not feasible, and more specifically, I find that the practical difficulties associated with accommodating the public in an accessible, hygienic location that allows for appropriate social distancing renders in-person attendance beyond 10 individuals unfeasible. Alternative arrangements have been made to allow the public to contemporaneously hear all discussion, testimony, and roll call votes via Zoom teleconference. Notice of these arrangements have been given in accordance with the Open Meetings Act. public may address this body consistent with rules previously adopted, including but not limited to live comment via internet teleconference platform or by email submission to the township clerk, which has been noted on the posted agenda. All votes shall be conducted by roll call, and a verbatim record of this meeting shall be made and maintained in accordance with the Open Meetings Act. All participants are hereby further notified that by participating in this meeting, they acknowledge and are informed that this meeting is public recording. Any questions or concerns should be directed to me or the township attorney. Thank you. Can I have a roll call for quorum, please?
Trustee Raga.
Present.
Trustee Benford.
Present.
Trustee Oliver. Trustee Burgess.
Present.
Supervisor George.
Present. Okay. Can I have a motion to approve the agenda?
So moved.
Trustee Burgess.
Second.
Trustee Raga. Roll call, please.
Trustee Raga.
Yes.
Trustee Benford.
Yes.
Trustee Oliver.
Yes.
Trustee Burgess. Supervisor George.
Yes. Can I have a motion to approve the minutes of the October meeting? Trustee Roger.
Second.
Trustee Benford. Second. Roll call, please.
Trustee Raga.
Yes.
Trustee Benford.
Yes.
Trustee Oliver.
Yes.
Trustee Burgess.
Yes.
Supervisor George.
Yes. Okay. Next item is our supervisor report. Good evening. I would like to update the board as well as the residents of DuPage Township on the ongoing events at the DuPage Township over the last 30 days. The DuPage Township Food Pantry is gearing up for annual Thanksgiving meal distribution to residents and senior citizens who are in need of this year. I'd like to personally thank the volunteers from the food pantry, Bolingbrook Rotary, Bolingbrook Fire Department, Bolingbrook Police Department, African Credit Union, American Legion, Rummelsville Fire Department, and Rummelsville Police Department. All these organizations will assist in delivering over 1,000 meals this year. I would like also to thank the Bolingbrook Park District, the Bolingbrook Rotary, the Dance Force, and the Bolingbrook Exchange Club of Bolingbrook for their generous donation this year towards our Thanksgiving meals. Our senior department has been very busy. Staff continues to do wellness checks with our senior citizens. Our staff continues to assist with food stamp applications as well as assisting with Medicaid information packets. Associate seniors, Zoom video will be back shortly. Our general assistance department has been busier than ever through our partnerships with Will County Community for Concerns, Illinois American Water Hardship Program, Salvation Army, and Catholic Charities. We're able to assist our residents with all their financial needs. In closing, I want to thank my staff at the administration building, the assessor's office, the senior center, and the food pantry. We have been dealing with COVID for the past 9 months. And let me tell you this, we have a dedicated team in our office, and we have never shut down our office. But even before it did, staff cares about the residents, what is the emergency food, emergency situations, emergency rent situations, or just common voice to listen. My staff is here to assist you. On that note, I want to wish you a happy Thanksgiving from my family and yours, and be safe. And it'll be 2 months. 2 months from now, I'll be appointed to the board for 2 years. And when I first got here, I met with all the staff, and I tell them experience,
Microphones.
with my experience with the staff. And the staff has been cooperating with me and with the board, with all the resolutions we made and all the processes and procedures. I'd like to thank my assistant, Linda Jones, for doing a fine job. And without her, I couldn't really do most of the things. Because the supervisor is like a part-time job. And, so when I'm not here, the assistant to the supervisor is in charge. So I'd like to thank her for that. Okay, go to the action items. Action item A, approval of appointment for Jody Ellis to the youth committee.
Supervisor George, can you hold on one second?
Second.
Hold on one second. Trustee Oliver?
Yes.
Okay. One of the reasons that we went to this webinar format is so people can hear better. And so the only people that have sound right now are you, Trustee Burgess, and Ross. Everybody else is silenced. All of the participants are silenced. So you're the only person that is making background noise, so all of the guests cannot hear. So if you don't mind...
I'm sitting silently alone in the room, so I don't know how I'm making background noise.
Right, but everyone else, they're able to mute until they're speaking, and so if you can just mute whenever you're not speaking, then it's easier for everyone else to just hear. Is that okay? Because there's a speaker in front of Supervisor George, so they can hear him.
Then go ahead and mute me.
Right. But everybody else, I can control their mic. I just can't control yours because you called in, so I can't move you over to be a panelist like I can for everybody else because of the way that you called in. That's why I'm just asking if you can mute yours when you're not speaking.
How do I mute myself?
Right. Only when you're not speaking, so that way everybody else that's participating can hear.
Right, but the question was, how do I mute myself?
And if you're on your phone, in the bottom left corner, you should see a mic that should allow you to mute yourself. And in the bottom right, there are 3 dots. There's a chat. If you hit the 3 dots in the bottom right, you can choose the chat, and I'm watching that. So if you need to speak, you can unmute, and we can pause to allow you a chance to speak.
Okay, call the chief union.
Yes.
Okay, action item A.
I have a first and a second.
Oh, we have a first second? Okay. Jody Ellis is a principal in one of the Valley View School District, and she'll be joining the youth committee.
Roll call.
No, she doesn't live in DuPage Township, but she works in DuPage Township. So you can do that if you work in the township. Yes, you want to. Roll call, please.
Trustee Raga.
Yes.
Trustee Benford.
Yes.
Trustee Oliver. Trustee Oliver.
Yes.
You have to give a
Trustee
second.
Burgess.
Yes.
Supervisor George.
Yes. Action item D, approval of determination of the amounts of money exclusive of debt service and election costs estimated to be necessary to be raised by taxation pursuant to the proposed levy by DuPage Township for 2021 tax levy estimates. the amount of $2,402,580. So we have a motion by Trustee Burgess. Second. Second by Trustee Rogers. Any discussions or questions?
I do have a question.
Yes.
And the first question I have is, did anybody calculate the maximum amount that we can levy for general assistance?
Yes, that was calculated, and
And what was that amount determined to be?
I don't have the figures with me right now,
Okay.
but we also went by, we sent this to our attorney, Mary Dixon, the one that defended us in the lawsuit, and we want to make sure that we're okay. And we also sent it to our township attorney.
Is it possible for us to give the amount, the maximum amount? Because I know last year, the last 2 years, I've asked that question.
Yeah.
And even last year, I was told that we sent it to the attorney, and we still over levied by, I believe it was 80,000 last year. And the year before that, which was of course not your year, we over levied by, my calculation, a little over 230,000. And although, you know, now it probably makes sense why I'm asking that question, because last month we had to settle a lawsuit for $50,000 because of over levying for 2016, 17, and 18.
Right.
So that's the reason that I'm asking, just to know what that maximum amount is, that we are levying for general assistance. So, and that's probably just something good to have in that calculation, just so we know as a board.
Any other questions? Roll call, please.
Trustee Raga.
Yes.
Trustee Benford.
Yes.
Trustee Oliver.
Yes.
Trustee Burgess.
Yes.
Supervisor George.
Yes. Action item C, approval of resolution 2019, approving an agreement for the provision of service between DuPage Township and Hazel House Global Charities for Employment Readiness Program for the Township fiscal year 2020-2021. This item was brought to the board last month, and it was tabled because the board wanted to know, in terms of assets and services. So I went back and looked at the budget, and I separated the assets from the services. And the asset was within the $5,000 that I had suggested. Okay, Trustee Burgess?
Second.
Second.
Trustee Benford, second. Roll call, please.
No, you didn't ask me a question.
Question, yeah, okay.
Okay.
Okay. Trustee Benford?
One of the hardest things to change is a culture. Mistreating organizations that come to DuPage Township for funding is becoming a culture that has to stop. I first spoke about this in April 2018. Last month, there was a motion to table a grant request, and I expressed my concern. On October 22nd, I emailed the trustee requesting his questions regarding the grant request. On October 29th, I sent a text message to the trustee requesting his questions regarding the grant request. To this date, I have not received a response to either request. Trustee Raga, I thank you for supporting Trustee Burgess' motion to table the grant discussion. Your support of his motion allowed me to prove exactly what I have been saying, that members of this board are not treating organizations in a fair and equitable manner. The grant was for a job training program. We are in the midst of a pandemic, and we have a record number of unemployment in Illinois. Instead of working together as a team to provide a job training program, my fellow trustees took this opportunity to discriminate against another organization. Last month, we settled a lawsuit for $50,000 for 3 of the years that were under the former supervisor's administration. If we do not find opportunities to use the general assistance funds in the community, the township will have to settle lawsuits in the future. In an effort to protect the reputation of this organization that submitted a grant request, I compiled a list of all of the false allegations that I have heard about this organization, and I am requesting that it is included as a part of the minutes tonight. In the past, my fellow trustees have used local newspapers to make false statements regarding organizations in this community, and I do not want that to happen to this organization in the future. And I will give my statement as well as all of the false statements, which I last counted, it was a total of 28 regarding this organization, to the clerk to be included in the minutes. And that is it for my statement, Supervisor George.
Okay. Anybody else?
I made a motion last month to table this, but I had some questions. I did some. And Trustee Benford, in your email to me, you asked what questions that I had, and I had advised you in the meeting to listen to the meeting what I asked about assets. My assets questions were asked by Supervisor George, and I told him to inform you of that when we went to the meeting.
Thank you, Trustee Burgess. Roll call, please.
Trustee Raga.
Yes.
Trustee Benford.
Yes.
Trustee Oliver. Trustee Oliver.
Give her, she needs to unmute.
Yes, yes.
Trustee
I just a
Burgess.
little stunned, but yes.
Trustee Burgess.
Yes.
Supervisor George.
Yes. Okay. Thank you, board. D, approval of resolution 2021. A resolution approving an agreement for the provision of services between DuPage Township and Operation Christmas Bowling Road. Trustee Burgess? Second. Trustee Raga, second. Any questions or discussions? Okay, this resolution is to provide a flat grant of $5,000 for 300 turkey meals that Operation Christmas will have to purchase.
On this one, if I may just interject for the motion, it would be okay to amend the motion to call for approval, that would be motion to approve with the fee, approving the expenditure from the $5,000.
Okay.
So moved. Okay, my motion.
You want me to speak to the amendment request?
I'll second.
What's that?
You want me to expound on what Ross stated?
Yes, okay.
So, one of the discussion that's been had over the past couple of days, just to update everyone else, Operation Christmas was not able to have a fundraiser this year. Their funding is down by about $25,000. The majority of the residents that have come to them for assistance this year is DuPage Township residents so far. Of the 307 residents that have registered for assistance, 303 are DuPage Township residents. They typically give the residents 2 gifts each year, which would be an article of clothing and a toy. again, because their funding is down, they are not, they are at a point where they are either going to have to cut off registering or turn individuals away. Last year, they had a total of 373 families, and they took registrations up through the middle of December. At the beginning of the year, the new township laws now allow us to use our general assistance funds to pay for some of our food pantry expenses, and they now can extend to cover our articles of clothing as well as essentials, which would include diapers and baby items. So one of the discussions that we've had as far as trying to just get some clarification on that via the legal counsel and through Supervisor George was if the board possibly wanted to entertain a more extensive partnership with Operation Christmas this year, because the majority of the residents are township residents, and possibly consider purchasing the clothing, because we cannot give general assistance funds to a third party. Maybe purchasing articles of clothing or diapers or wipes for families in need. So what Ross was indicating was if we wanted to entertain amending the motion to purchase clothing or wipes or diapers for some of those families in need to help for Christmas time, we are able to do that this time. Did I explain that, Ross, as you summarized it for us the other day?
My suggestion was more focused to what is presented. The board is obviously able to make an amendment if it would like. And what we can discuss, is about potentially increasing other services and doing other sorts of partnerships or something, so to be able to use general assistance funds. But again, like indicated, it would be difficult to, there's no way to use the general assistance funds specifically for Operation Christmas. But it would be something to potentially consider in the future, or in the near term, separately, so that the township can provide additional different services and care for the need of people who there's an increasing need. But that's not what I didn't mean to amend it specifically. It's more of a motion to have the as presented, and if the board wishes to amend it, it would be.
Okay, right now, most of the funds that we've been giving out for the social services committee comes out of the social services fund that was budgeted. So, and I would like to stay within that guideline. You wouldn't have budgeted for the other stuff.
First and second.
You got a first and second? A roll call, please.
Trustee Rada.
Yes.
Trustee Benford.
Yes.
Trustee Oliver.
Yes.
Trustee Burgess.
Yes.
Supervisor George.
Yes. Item E, approval of Face Dial Arrive Share Program, 2021 Local Share Agreement, with authorization for the township supervisor to execute the contract.
So moved.
Second.
Trustee Burgess,
Second.
Trustee Benford. Any questions? You're all familiar with the case. I think PACE pays for 75% of the transportation, and the township kicks in about 20%, and 5% comes from the ride. And these rides are given to seniors and people with disabilities. Roll call, please.
Trustee Rada.
Yes.
Trustee Benford.
Yes.
Trustee Oliver.
Yes.
Trustee Burgess.
Yes.
Supervisor George.
Yes. Item F, approval to replace the sound system of the Levy Center. Township supervisor to execute after receiving reviewed quotes not to exceed $7,000. And you understand why we're doing this, right? We need to upgrade our sound system. Yeah. Trustee Burgess?
Yes.
And trustee, second? Trustee Raga? Any questions, discussions? Roll call, please.
Trustee Raga.
Yes.
Trustee Benford.
Yes.
Trustee Oliver.
Yes.
Trustee Burgess. Supervisor George.
Yes. Item G, approval to publish and post notices of caucus stating the time and place where the caucus, each political party, will be held pursuant to the Illinois Township Code.
So moved.
Trustee Bedford,
Second.
trustee Raga, second. Any questions? I think the township has to publish the caucus of the Democratic Party, which is going to be at the Levy Center, and the Republican Party going to be at Holiday Inn. Roll call, please.
Trustee Raga.
Yes.
Trustee Benford.
Yes.
Trustee Oliver.
Yes.
Trustee Burgess.
Yes.
Supervisor George.
Yes. Next item, audit of bills and claims. Approval of township bills and claims for 10/16/20 through 11/12/20 in the amount of $143,023.35. Open pay bills, $22,419.18. Pay payables, $119,604.17. Can I have a motion?
So moved.
Trustee Ryder,
Second.
trustee Bedford, second. Any questions? Roll call, please.
Trustee Raga.
Yes.
Trustee Benford.
Yes.
Trustee Oliver. Trustee Oliver.
Yes.
Trustee Burgess.
Yes.
Supervisor George.
Yes. Next item is new business. A,
Supervisor George, I apologize. I just noticed that Lee Bush Jr. was on here. I did not realize, he said he had to leave to go to the village meeting. Did you want him to speak about Operation Christmas now or later? We've already voted.
yeah, we already voted. Okay, new business. A, Heritage Board's request for donation. Discussion with possible board action. Trustee Bedford, you can elaborate on that?
One more time. What'd you say?
Okay, item A, new business.
Yes.
Heritage Board's request for donation.
Yes. I can get a motion to table both items A and B. Spoke to the attorney after he was able to do a little bit more research on what their requests were, and it appears that they will just be doing a grant application this time.
Okay. Can I have a motion to table item A and B?
So moved.
Trustee
Second.
Roger,
Second.
trustee Benford. Roll call, please.
Trustee Raga.
Yes.
Trustee Benford.
Yes.
Trustee Oliver.
Yes.
Trustee Burgess.
Yes.
Supervisor George.
Yes. Item C, discussion of correspondence and complaint received by the township regarding FOIA matter and additional accusations. You all received the email from Bonnie Karowski, and Trustee Burgess requested it to be on the agenda, seconded by Trustee Oliver. Trustee Burgess, would you start the discussion, please?
I didn't know that.
Could you repeat that? We didn't hear that. You were fading out.
I requested that we put on the agenda because that's kind of disheartening that someone would FOIA something and then their FOIA would get leaked out to another news source with all their private information.
Okay.
And I think it needs to be discussed of why it was leaked out and who leaked it out.
Okay. Any more other information?
Oh, we're going to handle it. I'll probably have a question for the attorney.
So, Mr. Supervisor, if I may,
Yes.
I'd be happy to comment on this. As the entire board knows and was made aware that this individual sent pretty similar emails both to the township staff, FOIA officer, deputy FOIA officer, and to the board itself. I have provided a response that is more grounded in reality, because the letter itself is a gross misrepresentation of any facts or like the reality whatsoever. I tried to be very clear in my explanation to the entire board about what the issues are. We also provided a courtesy that the board was CC'd on to Ms. Borowski explaining the issues with her letter and frankly what I take very seriously is litigation against the township. And that was really it. I mean, it really doesn't warrant any response whatsoever because it's absurd. I mean, in essence, this individual submitted a request for Freedom of Information Act, Illinois Freedom of Information Act, and then she submitted an additional, very specific Freedom of Information Act request, which there were no responsive documents, and apparently that wasn't to her liking, and despite being informed of her right under the Illinois Freedom of Information Act to contest those issues, she decided to make allegations and threats litigation, as well as other investigatory operations, which she was informed that the township would be more than happy to assist with and get to the bottom of it if those exist. The absolute, and I believe the township has that exact same position. That's really her, as I explained to the board in an email that this is in detail, that there's really, I don't know what their fee is That's about it. So, I'm happy to answer specific questions, but it's really, I have to caution, the only thing I have to caution is this individual is threatening to sue the township. So, to the extent that anyone who's in direct contact with her or communication in your official capacity, and that we talk about anything that she's alleging or otherwise trying to use the lawsuit against the township, we should be careful. Other than that, happy to answer questions in the recording.
Her complaint is in the letter that your response was sent to another watchdog group. And within hours of you sending out the response to the board,
Which, that her complaint that was sent to you, the security breach immediate action subject, in the portions written that are external, you can see that she's saying that she's alleging that she who FOIA'd her request. It's not accurate. I provided you with the FOIA request. Plus, she requested all emails from the Edgar County watchdogs requesting my FOIA request for any of my information, among other things. There was no FOIA request, emails from Edgar County watchdogs requesting her FOIA. That's just when she made that request. We treat as we advise in the township, I can speak on behalf of the FOIA officer as well as the deputy FOIA officer, treat every FOIA request the same. We don't answer. We don't give answers and don't create documents. We provide the documents that exist. That's really, her FOIA request was very specific, and that's really what it was. There's no, she used her information once the FOIA, to submit a FOIA, and then indicated after that fact in the matter of this complaint that she didn't want that information provided to the public. So, given that it was originally she was FOIAing from a corporate email address that's not protected under a FOIA exemption, for personal information, she's indicated that it is not personal, and so we are generally treating it as that, but that was only after she indicated that. We don't ever otherwise treat a work email or a corporate email address as a personal piece of information. And that's really, if someone FOIA, if she didn't request anything about anyone FOIAing, she requested a specific organization to which there was no specific FOIA for it. So I don't,
any other discussion on this matter? Any other discussion on this matter? Any other discussion on this matter? Seeing none?
Supervisor, before you move to the reports, I just want to check to see who's on so I can move them in so that they can speak. Lynn Woodard, if you are on the call, if you can just type down in the chat so I can move you over. Maureen, I see you, so I will move you over. Dave Locke, if you are on, if you can type down in the chat and I can move you over. Kim Owens, I see you. And Kelly, if you are on, please type down in the chat and I will move you over.
Okay. Report from administrative staff and contractors. A, legal report, Township Attorney, Ross Eckler.
Thank you, Mr. Supervisor. As was evident, my office has been helping the township with the great uptick in the number of FOIA requests, particularly FOIA requests that do require attorney review and assistance. So I just want to thank Linda and Amy, and I know Linda's been soloing it for a little bit. So just want to thank the township staff for all the assistance in getting all those records to us so that we can help review it and get those out. You know, it the season for FOIA requests update and get it, so we're, you know, processing and getting them together and processed accordingly and appropriately in compliance with the law and dealing with as much as we need to deal with any problems around that. More importantly, frankly, is updates about COVID-19. The COVID-19 pandemic, as everyone knows, enhanced mitigation is happening. We will be continuing to assist the township, especially as employees become more and more effective, as events need to be modified, as other practices need to be modified. I think the township is making good steps in updating an audio system now as this is approved. In addition, and along those lines, we're helping the clerk and the township in its official capacity in preparation and on its duties for the upcoming township caucuses. So the eventual the nomination petition filing period in December for any independent or new party candidate. The board is, as you said, it's really required, approved the posting and publishing for the township caucuses. It really applies to both political party caucuses, but in particular for the one caucus occurring on township property, will be probably issuing a guidance just really to both parties about complying with the governor's orders and how I'm suggesting to do that in a safe manner. And particularly, like I mentioned, the Democratic Party caucus, which will be in the Levy Center, and how we're going to do that safely while complying with all the township rules and the governor's rules, because it's not getting anybody. We'll be happy to answer any other questions, but I think at that point, that would be the end of my report.
Thank you, Russ. Item B, senior report, Lynn Woodard.
She is not on the call.
Who's on our call? Okay. Senior report, Maureen Fox.
Maureen, please unmute.
Okay, can you hear me?
Yes.
Yes, okay. Good evening. Thanks, first of all, for passing the PACE style guide. We all know that's been a continuous, asset to our township, that our village, or between village, Bolingbrook and Romeo, our seniors have grown. So, thank you. That's pretty cool. But like senior supervisor alluded, we are busy. I mean, in spite of we're not open, but we are busy. I'm taking a lot of intake applications, which I've never done before with Will County Committee for Concerns, because we've always had them as an outreach outsource at our building. So that our seniors can no longer go there and get the help that they need. So what they've been doing is calling me up. I have a lot of non-speaking Philippines speaking people from Grinky that need our help. So I've been really kind of working with them, filling out their applications, making sure that they have all their ducks in a row. And so with Will County Community Concerns and our outreach program, it's been working pretty well. We continue to do our wellness checks and making sure that we're calling for them, making sure everything's okay, making sure that they have their Thanksgiving baskets, which is coming up next week. I did have a luncheon learn about, not last Monday, but the Monday before, and it was very small attended because, as well as you guys know, that not too many people are coming out. But those that came out got a very good attention to our independent insurance man, Mark Burr, everybody. We will continue to help all our clients, even though it's Catholic and they can't come into our building right now. We are having everybody kind of take and put everything to our mailbox outside. I run out, take it, they have their phone number, I call them, make sure everything is good. And other than that, I think we are doing what we need to do. We continue to service, and that's what we're here for. So with that, happy Thanksgiving and have a safe one.
Thanks, Maureen. Food pantry, David Locke,
Is not on the call.
he's not on call. General Assistant Report, Kimberly Ellen.
If she is on, she is unmuting herself now. Kimberly, you need to unmute.
Good evening, everybody. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, I'm sorry. It just told me I can unmute my phone. General Assistant, lately so far we have 24 intakes that I have taken just in the last couple of days. For the H2O water program, I have taken 15 applications for the H2O water program. Will County Center outreach program applications, as Maureen just said. She's also taking applications over next door for the seniors. I am taking them here along with Tracy. We have 25 applications that will be picked up tomorrow from Will County Center for Community Concern. For Salvation Army applications, I did 10 applications. We also have Salvation Army coat drive vouchers for families that need coats. Because what we're finding out with the Lions Club is some of the people that need coats here in town, depending on what size they have, we're not able to get them, so I can offer them the vouchers for Salvation Army. DuPage Township, we have several different partnerships here throughout the community. Lions Club, coat drive, we're going to host that event first weekend in December. As of right now, we have 65 families signed up for coats. And that's only families. That's not how many coats that we actually have to purchase for the family. So I am hoping that we do get an opportunity to do coat drive for DuPage Township through the social service event. Another partnership that we have is the Branch Family Foundation. Every year they host Christmas pajama parties. We call it Christmas DJ party. This year we will be hosting the event on Sunday, December the 20th from 1 to 3. Families must sign up for this event. This is a drive-through event only. As of right now, we have 120 families that have signed up for this event. This week, well not this week, but October the 27th, had a Zoom meeting, the first meeting for Sisters Helping Sisters. We did this via Zoom. Great attendance with a lot of the ladies that were able to attend. We got some great feedback from them, what they're looking for throughout the community. We shared some great resources. I also got a call today from Toys for Tots. They would like to work with DuPage Township to have them provide names for families to help families that are in need for the holidays. And that is my report, and I will ditto everybody else. Happy Thanksgiving, and everybody be safe.
Thank you, Kimberly.
You're welcome.
Human Resources Report, Amy Albright.
Amy is not.
Okay, Amy is not. Okay. Banquet Report, Kelly Lizardo. Is Kelly on?
Kelly is not.
Okay. Elected official report, advisory committee reports. A, assessor.
Jean is on. She is unmuting her phone.
Hi, Steve Kelly, the assessor. We have received all our appeals from the county. We got a total of 336, which is a small percent of our overall parcels. We had 289 residential, 29 commercial, and 18 industrial. So we'll be working on those till the end of the year. And as a reminder, anyone turning 65 can make an appointment, come in for your senior exemption, and we will help you fill out the paperwork for that. Thank you.
Thanks, Jean. Clerk report?
No report.
Okay. Trustee report, Alicia Bedford.
Past supervisor, I'm still writing my notes. I can't find my page, so I'll have to come back and find it.
Trustee Burgess.
Yes, I'd like to welcome and thank the board for approving Jody Ellis to join us. And in news, I'm going to make a comment on what's been going on in the board the last 2 months. The month before last, Trustee Benford stated that she's been exonerated on the bullying investigation before we had reviewed the investigation. Last month, she had told us that the attorney, Ross Secker, showed her the report before the board's meeting. Now, we have on the agenda tonight for the executive session to discuss these 2 items. I have just one question of the attorney. Did you or did you not show Trustee Benford the findings of the investigation before the board had seen them? That is all. Can you answer that, Ross?
Yes, I'm recognized that I can definitively tell you that I did not.
So then Trustee Benford lied when she said you would show her the report. Is that a true statement?
Is that a question? I don't know if that's what she said specifically, but I'm sure she can respond. But I will say that I did not, that no one other than the supervisor, the ethics officer, received that report prior to that executive session.
Okay, thank you. Then there's no need for executive session on that. Thank you. That's my report.
Thank you, Trustee Burgess. Trustee Oliver.
This is Trustee Oliver. I want to thank Maureen for the wellness check for our seniors. I know a lot of them are feeling very lonely and isolated, and I think it's awesome that you're calling them, checking in, making sure they're okay, and if there's anything they need. So that's a real positive of what we do at the township for our seniors. The senior committee did not meet this month. I'm not sure if we'll meet again next month or not. We're going on the comfort level of the board for the senior committee. I'm the liaison, not the chairman. So that falls on their group. If they feel comfortable, we'll meet. And if not, that's okay too. So just for everyone to continue to stay safe and have a really great Thanksgiving.
Thank you, Trustee Oliver. Trustee Roger.
I'd just like to wish everybody a healthy, safe, and happy Thanksgiving.
Trustee Benford.
I was actually going to read my statement again, but I won't bother. I would like to wish everyone a happy Thanksgiving as well. And for my committee reports, we did not have a meeting for the Accounting and Auditing Committee last month because of the food drive, the drive-through food drive. Social Services Committee, we will be meeting the first week, Monday in December. And then we have our Accounting and Auditing Committee. I believe it's scheduled for the Monday before Thanksgiving, but because that's a holiday week and Thanksgiving, I am going to propose that we move it to the last Monday of the month. And again, everybody have a happy, safe Thanksgiving. And that concludes my report.
Thank you. Public comment, invitation to speak on any issue on the agenda or anything regarding township government. Limited to 1 3-minute comment per person.
Yes. And because we have this set up so that people can't speak while everybody else is speaking, I will just go down the list and click each attendee, and if they have comments, they can speak. If not, just let us know. The first one is a phone number ending in 4066. You can unmute your phone if you have comments. If you do not, then let us know. The next one, Barbara Parker, I'm unmuting you if you have comments. You are able to speak as well. And then Bernard Winston, if you have comments, you may speak as well. So those are the first three in that order.
Okay.
I'll just do it in groups.
Okay. One of you can't speak?
I have unmuted all. Ms. Parker, did you have any comments?
Yes, this is Barbara Parker. I have made a request, actually 2 requests, to have the senior come on my show, and I still haven't heard anything back from the group.
Okay, we'll send that message to the seniors committee, okay?
Okay.
Any other comments from the group?
Mr. Winston, if you have any comments, you can unmute your phone. And there's a number ending in 3770. If you have any comments, you are not muted right now. If you have anything to say? That's why the public comments is next. This is our mic speaker right now. Okay, I will go to the next group. We have Lee Bush Jr. If you have comments, please unmute your phone. Parker, go ahead.
First, I'd like to thank the township for bringing numbers to Christmas's agenda for you guys. Supervisor George, thank you for reviewing it. Trustee Bedford, thank you for trying to add to help to our community even more for the work that the committee is doing. I'm not sure, as I was bouncing out of earlier, I apologize because I've been speaking at the village board meeting here. 2020 has brought a lot of changes for Operation Christmas this year. Past, we normally have food, clothing, and then new items for the children. However, because of COVID this year, things have changed a lot. We've had to kind of revamp things and focus on those newer items for the children, such as clothing, toys, food, base food for the families. Our struggle is always, our motto has always been, is to make sure that kids have toys to open on Christmas morning and food on the table in the evening. So I appreciate you guys taking this and putting it on your agenda this evening and voting. I'm sorry I missed what the vote was because I was bouncing around. Just some updated numbers to what may have been said. As of 6 o'clock this night, tonight, we have already registered 350 families. That's 1,050 children that we have already signed up this year. We are doing the best that we possibly can. Out of those 350 families, only 4 are not inside our township. They're in the Romeo area, but not inside the township. So we are still striving to help all of our Valley kids from Willowbrook and from Romeoville. So I just want to thank everybody for putting this on your agenda this evening. I wanted to let you know that we do have families. Kimberly, thank you for what you said earlier for Toys for Tots. We can work together as one for this to help these families. But if you have a family that needs to register, they can go to the Beloved Village website. It's under their
yourself, please unmute your phone or your mic. Pastor Hudson, if you'd like to speak, please unmute. And I have I might butcher your names, Asaya Ratcliffe. If you'd like to speak, please unmute. Okay. Any of the three of you would like to speak? Christine Mayer, Pastor Hudson, Siler Ratcliffe, please unmute. And I have a number ending in 4066. Please unmute. Okay.
So any other public comments from the audience?
Yes, I'm John Kraft. I read the email that was sent to all the board members about the FOIA request, and I know you guys know this. I'm basically speaking to the audience that there is no requirement in any Illinois state law that a person has to submit a FOIA request in order to receive a public record. The FOIA law is designed to hold the public body accountable if a person has to use that route to get public records. It places responsibility on the public body to answer truthfully and in a specific time frame. The federal FOIA does not apply to state and local governments. It applies to the federal government. It has nothing to do with anything other than the federal government. I also have a copy of the complaint, which was equally as false as the email. The complaint that was sent to the Office of the Executive Inspector General of the state of Illinois, who has no jurisdiction over local sub-state public bodies, local governments, counties, municipalities, townships, school districts. That office has no jurisdiction. So they sent a copy of the complaint to the state's attorney in DuPage County. Likewise, the state's attorney in DuPage County has no jurisdiction on any public body in Will County, unless you go there and do something against the law. Then he might. I will forward a copy to all the trustees of that complaint sent to the state, and it's just as outrageous as anything else that's filled with, half or a quarter of the information needed to come up with any result. It complains about payments that Trustee Benford received, allegedly received through her company, but there was never any check written from any township account to her company. They were written from the nonprofits, which is not part of township government, to her company. That's just an example. And, well, that's it. I'll just leave it at that. I'll forward a copy, and I'm going to write an article on it, too. I'll forward a copy on you guys.
Thank you. Any other comments?
Yeah, my name's Kirk Allen. I'm going to echo the question that Trustee Benford had in regards to your general assistance. I have a question, and I don't expect it to be answered right now. It'd be nice to get an answer. I know you're not required to answer. But when was the board notified that you were being sued as far back as 2016 for general assistance? Any idea when you were notified of that? Because I know that we found out 17 and 18, but we're hearing now you were also sued for 2016. Did the board have knowledge of that? Was that ever put before the board by the former supervisor and your attorney? Anybody? I'm not sure. No. You had no knowledge of it?
No.
trustee Rogers, trustee Benford, did you have knowledge of it?
I recall that we found out about it after we were in the midst of being sued for 17 and 18. But we did not find out about it at the time the lawsuit was filed.
So this is another case of former supervisor not sharing very pertinent information with the board. The question that was asked, what is the maximum that you're allowed to levy, is a key question because you've been sued 3 years now. Is there going to be another lawsuit? Have you truly identified what that max number is? And sending it to the attorneys, I appreciate that, but if they give you a number, here's the maximum that we can do. If they haven't, I'd be demanding that number because your levy deadline is next month. You've got time to correct it. If that number is wrong and you get sued again, it's not going to look pretty. And that same organization that does this year in and year out all across the state is going to be looking. So I would hope that you have a hard number that's being asked about. That's all I've got. Thank you.
Any other comments?
There are some more comments on the call, or on the Zoom. Amy, Joe Johnson, you were up next. You can speak, Joe Johnson. I've unmuted you.
Yes. Yes, can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. Following the meeting here, I could tell there's a lot of tension going on, and you guys gotta forgive me. I've been unplugged for a while, and I can see that the tension has built up in the board meetings there, and it's a lot of, as an outside person paying attention, I just want to remind everybody that not all of us can afford to be political, or we have to worry about our youth. In my case, I work with the youth in Bolingbrook and Romeoville, as most of you know. So if it's about my community and about my youth and about, with the great things the township has done over the years, we need to stay focused on those things. And wherever these bickering back and forth from both sides and all sides that get into it, we need to just examine ourselves. And I just want to remind the board and the guests that we're neighbors. We may not see things the same, but we're raising kids and running businesses and doing great things in our community with one another. And we're not going to always agree or like what's said about us. But one thing we got to remember is that we're neighbors, and we got to keep things civil. And before you go and you publish or you do different things against organizations and groups, you should ask or talk to the people before you go after their character. I've been a little frustrated by some of that back and forth on all sides and getting caught in the middle. I shouldn't get caught in the middle of anything if I'm working on the interests of my people or my community or the youth. So just for you guys that are elected officials or professionals, just for a person from the outside looking in that you hopefully know and respect, we should all, on all sides, examine that and watch what we're doing publicly in these meetings, guys. 2020 has shown us that life is short, and we need to work together. Only people that's getting hurt when we table these things and argue and fight is our community and our kids that don't get services, or our seniors. So just remember that. I'm done.
Norm Brown, you are no longer muted. Did you have some comments?
Thank you. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Yeah, good evening. Thanks for allowing me this opportunity to speak. My name is Norman Brown. I'm a taxpayer, a longtime Bolingbrook resident, and co-founder of a local nonpartisan group called Alliance for Civic Engagement, also known as ACE, which advocates for local black voters and issues that directly impact the black community. Please note the attendants are ACE members. So why are we here? We're here to call out prior inappropriate behavior shown by trustees Oliver and Burgess towards trustee Bedford, which is counterproductive when allowed to display public acts of derogatory language, baseless allegations, rude behavior, unprofessional conduct, blatant disrespect, hidden agendas, disinformation, and character assassination. As one of 89,000 who live in DuPage Township and a property owner and taxpayer, we expect better from these public officials. I know others do as well. Here's an idea. We're in the midst of a 100-year pandemic. The infection rate is double-digit. People are sick and dying. Stop with the personal attacks and come together for what's best for the township and help those in need. Better yet, restore your credibility and restore fairness and transparency when allocating township funds. Let me be clear, and I want to underline this. Let me be clear. Express your policy differences. The public expects that, but not personal attacks, which stops now. In closing, ACE will be watching to report back to our membership and the Black community what comes across. I thank you for your time.
Supervisor Kim Owens had something else to add to her report. Kim, you are no longer muted.
Okay, yes, thank you. I just have another part that I kind of skipped over that I wanted to share. Community Service Council has informed me that they have lots of money, lots of funds that they would like to share throughout Will County. There is a component for the Joliet residents, which is called the Spanish Community Center at 309 Northeast Avenue. And that is for rental and mortgage assistance. So they do have a grant that they are trying to use. So if you know of anyone, please share this information. Community Service Council at 440 Quadrangle Drive in Bolingbrook can help the Bolingbrook and Romeoville residents with the rental and mortgage assistance. They can help up to 3 months. They do have to use their funds by the end of December. So if anyone knows of any samples, please refer them to Omari. His number is 815-886-5000, extension 1010. Thank you.
Is there anyone else wishing to speak? If so, please unmute. If there's anyone else wishing to speak, please unmute your mic. If there's anyone else wishing to speak, please unmute your mic. If there's anyone else wishing to speak during public comments, please unmute your mic. Okay.
Okay.
Give everyone a chance.
We just finished with public comments.
Hold on, Ross.
I'll just note that for the clerk to note the record whether any comments were received via email.
No comments have been received. No comments received via email.
Okay, that's it for public comments. The next call is to enter closed session on the agenda. Can I have a motion?
I believe Trustee Burgess said he didn't want to enter executive session any longer. You might want to ask him.
He said one.
Did he?
He said something, yeah, just one issue.
Oh. Did you still want to or no?
I don't need executive session.
Okay.
Because it's just going to get it done anyway.
Okay, it's on the agenda, so we just have to vote to no, right? Can I have a motion? If there's no motion, then it dies anyway, right? Can I have a motion to enter executive session? Okay.
Just for the record, trustee Alger has dropped off, so you are aware that she's left the meeting at 8:44.
Okay. Okay, the motion failed. There was no motion. Second. Can I have a motion to adjourn this meeting?
So moved.
Trustee Benford. Trustee Raga, second. Roll call, please.
Trustee Raga.
Yes.
Trustee Bedford.
Yes?
Trustee Oliver. Absent.
Yes, she's,
Trustee Burgess.
he's unmuting.
If I stay on mute, yeah.
He said
Yes. Okay. Supervisor George.
Yes?
Yes.
You're not taking any action on item 16?
That was adjournment? Yeah, there's no action on 16, because we didn't have any executive session. So you just adjourned? Yes.
Ross is talking to you.
Hello, Ross?
Look, it's hard to hear, I think you lost
Yes.
The meeting over? Yeah, it's meeting over. Can't vote yes to, adjourn. Okay.